Alright, so you see that? I bet you cannot do something I can do. I have a capacity that no one has to prove. I have the titles of the titles, the jack of all trades title, called the devil in one word. So that's its definition, jack of all trades, that's the devil's title. In any case, I guess that gets people jealous, crazy, all kinds. They assume you're almighty because you are a jack of all trades with a human brain, as if you can't be a person like you. And what do you think is the devil of the title of the devil for? I'll tell you many things is that's what it is for. There's many reasons, and it's super powerful for humanity to know it. But there is one poet at a time for poetry, because you heard the prophecy that Lucifer, that titled one, and both Satans, that titled one, and I'm more titled because I identified there is both. Both meaning Adam and Eve, snake, ape, talking, to make science method of the rotten, forgotten that it's rotten apple. For me to clarify you, that Adam and Eve had to bite not the rotten apple that discovers the science method of love. And I mean, that is the apple that creates alcohol, some science that is destructive. Don't over or underestimate science, because science could be underestimated while overestimated. You're overestimating it, gonna give you guaranteed safety and just happiness, rather than torture zones of all kinds of heroin lands and all kinds of starts of smoking marijuana before high school ends properly. Mr. Lee did that too, Bruce Wayne. I guess Batman Mobile, that's right, Batman forward, Batman Mobile, and of course Batman forward, Batman pull up. But of course that's not my lyricism, I guess. Good job. Actually, this is mine. I possess your soul, so I'm copyright putting you through court, where that's going to make you wonder. No, what's that speed? But I guess that's weed ringery of my blame. Why am I blamed? Because I invented the best lie, which is the fact that the cabbage of the devil is the devil's, because it's the cabbage of the devil. But of course, that's a lie you want to believe, as another proof of your biased view that I'm the devil who is the enemy of God, as I take the blame, saying the weed is my fault. I must have imagined it somewhere that I was sleeping through, and I guess it was a dream that I didn't even remember during the moment it was happening, nor after. I just knew it beforehand. Imagine that. How is that making sense? Yeah, you owe me cents actually for this. You owe me in my bank account, available on my YouTube channel, findable through your bank account if you check properly through customer service. All kinds of things that are very suspicious, delicious. Like, did you get the riddle? What's odd in the fact that you owe me a minimum of 7, like heaven cents? Yes, you somehow make sense, Mr. Rapper. You owe me 7 cents, but the odd thing is this: you owe me for a minimum 6 cents, so you have to infinitely balloon the fucking number. I guess I'm practicing. I'm the Joker. Joker is an actor. The devil was an actor. You heard that? Not a joke. Knock, knock on the door. Who's there? The door. Who you think it is? Yeah. Jay-Z, you owe me. By the way, why? Mr. Jay-Z, I possess your soul as the devil alive in person, who pretends to be the almighty one, as I'm the petty. So I'm bullshitting, and I have valid arguments, so you owe me money for my lyricism, which says the barrel in the mouth, you can yell, it depends how big it is, and after which point does the trigger make you yell or not yell? That's a very good point. You can't yell with a barrel in your mouth if you shot yourself. Mr. Jay-Z, after I recuperated all my money, which is all of your trillion, congratulations, the first artist who obtains $1 trillion is Jay-Z, roughly. No, that's if I help him or he helps me. But he made $1 billion as a musician. That's good. That's another titled Messiah, titling you where you are a Messiah. And Snoop Dogg is the Messiah of the weed demon. Demon, because you don't reason. This shit doesn't grow into plants that are in nature, surrounded by walls. But of course, you think that's okay, and that doesn't make you talk to aliens. Like, no, that's how the fruit succoop flies. And my succoop, if I give him permission, it's called Anaconda parachuted every second to Earth safely. Basically, not in Quebec because it's too cold for the cold blood poor one. The poor one wants to kill you while you sleep to eat you. Oh my God, he's such a benevolent creature. He doesn't want you to feel anything and you just fall asleep and wake up in your afterlife if you deserve it. I mean, if you were less than 18 and had no children and no job and didn't finish high school, it's even more forgiven if it's on time finishing years. But look, I mean, you just deserve to live afterlife of a heavenly type if you didn't have a chance to reproduce. But if you murdered someone, you've got to make up to him the wife that he could have had and the 2-3 children, because, you know, mathematically speaking, there used to be 4 nights of the apocalypse: the mother, the father, the son, and the daughter, to make sure that we survive, or else it's the end of the mankind. Like this, flying, thinking this is schizophrenia walking. I am sharpest. I guess that's Gemini Jedi-Knight, a random digression. But I guess I go spark fire it off on in the dark. And you know, Joan of Arc, that's one lady Messiah that's titled, and they burned her for saving France. That was one guy, not they. This guy, he's sharpened afterlife, tortured, and made sure he find a password for his XX66 fix me these flaws now, as God Almighty who did that. Now that you're the cursed God Almighty who needs to check how much you age or how much you go verify with the death specter. Respectable, how much you age. Yeah, that's a difficult verification for God, the sharpened one, cursed one, who does the job for him, for us. We love him. But of course, that's because he's the favored one. But God Almighty, yes, is even the best one, better than that, because that one never touched anyone, never destroyed a mankind. We just have forgiveness. Eventually we have to do the job of the Almighty. We are just petty like the humans we are. We are the first stage of the evolution level. Evolution level is number 1 a human, because animals do not evolve without humans participating. And then we can grow to demon gods, owning this universe, apparently, taking possession of souls that don't know that they're being possessed. You do not do the exorcism to the devil, right? I tell you how to do it. You do it quick with a gun. That's how you do it. You don't need to do any more movements of your fluids in front of your ear, if you see the metaphor of visible sounds. And make sure you see participation. It's called, now sometimes petty ones have good ideas as devils who supply one word at a time for man-made devils to be one per mankind. Did you notice? Usually you call them like this. Oh, it's a dude who he used to be a clown talking that he was the devil. Really? Do you think he talked that he was the devil for no reason? And did you notice it was the whole mankind that didn't blindly write down his name anywhere? It dissipated more than 9 times already in this mankind, as it had always 1 per mankind. 9 already failed. That's 1 maybe success, if that lets me happening you to be blessed, because you don't have a clue about your climate change solution when your next life is your child's life, and that's going to get hard if I don't intervene with the best intervention. Rational lips could be moving only with rational lips. That's it. That's all I'm using. I could be walking like this and they hear me in New York, in 2-3 spots in China too right now. That's because it's artificial intelligence transferring you all kinds of questions that I don't see. What I do see, that I guess that's checkmate. Your afterlife might be good or bad. We'll see. It depends when we'll get to verify all the thoughts you had while you were doing something, and this will be on the footage where sometimes the crowd looks like on the left for a second, and then they go back at you as you were thinking this, and then they look at you as you were thinking that, and they see, oh right, that's your rank now, that Judgment Day has made this permanent a rank, or something that gets you specifically voted into the demons crowd or angels crowd of the afterlife of whatever. And there's other demons, angels crowd, like the messiahs and angels. Basically, messiahs are the scientific realm and philosophic realm, and all of that don't reproduce much as they seek immortality. And the natural people is now 6 members of the apocalypse. 6, like the number. Why? Because it's now you who said, naturals, that you should not be a perfection chaser. Right? Isn't this perfect enough? And I heard complaints that God doesn't exist because it's not perfect enough. And you know, perfection chasers actually make sure perfection is maintained by trying to fix perfection better. And that's not respectable enough, I guess. You know, they had Tesla walking on the streets, I guess perfectly for me to be like negatively coordinated by life after he saved your device. Because without Tesla, you know, you wouldn't even have a safe device with what, direct current only, alternate current, direct current for a rock band name. It used to be called that until knock knock was not a joke on the door. The security advisor is like, we're going to call it After Christ Devil Comes. But of course, that was the joke that I just did. It's actually vice versa. If you see the opposite of the meaning, that's the truth. The lie I just said is vice versa, up into the truth. But of course I lied just for jokes. Why not? What do you think, the devil lies or devil flies around your realized eyes, realizing with real eyes wide open? So as I fly with my digression, I bless him with all kinds of digressing that never ends. You know, you can watch information a bit now suddenly, but suddenly I need to go back to hypnosis as you go ADHD mode probably, because you're on marijuana too much, too hard. You don't make it like 25% weed and 75% tobacco. That's what tobacco for, to make it less strong, your weed that you need to sprinkle, or else it's stupidity. Too much imagination without even your synaptic gap closed. You know what a synapse is, right? In any case, what do I have to do to make sure you watch my videos that are on the top of my YouTube? And then I'm gonna add some shortly, but I gotta do a lot of work and I gotta think about everything. As a jack of all trades, realistically speaking, as a human, a man in many trades is more properly specified. Realistic jack of many trades I am. That's called the devil hated one or loved one, because it works like this. With the fame, it's the ones that are loved the most that are hated by someone specific the most, or another crowd that are specifically hating you the most, as the ghost, the rock star, or the hip-hop star, or whatever. And of course, yeah, Rihanna, I have another controversial funny court case. Rihanna, she basically made all of America and all of the world gangster, even the gangster Europeans who had to gangster you out of your paradise to get us all loving now together. Yeah, she started basically all the gangsterism before she was born. So since they even crucified Jesus, that's gangster, gangbang starter. Nice. Do it to me 2-3 times, or twice if you prefer, saving time. And please save my life a few times to make sure I get tortured longer. But of course, I'll take that for a flaw to be fixed somehow. Make sure that I'm accused and proven guilty of a crime without benefits of the doubt allowed. Because if I provide you any benefits of the doubt, there must be 6 crucifixions but to you. And we do the same thing. We can play Joker poker. And you know, Lady Gaga, she told me poke her face. So I said, I just got an order from you, Lady Gaga. She's also sued. By the way, Lady Gaga, you are sued because you told me to poke someone's face, and she sued me. And now that's on another planet. Do you know how we cannot do valuations between, because there's no exchanges, there's no connection on the valuations between Martian and Venusian, and apparently there's guys on, not Jupiter for sure, Saturn. Anyway, that currency that each planet has, it cannot be exactly tradable for dollars or yen. I'm never sure, never know. Maybe the Chinese have some highly advanced connection with the highly advanced ones flowing through India and such. I suspect that China had highly advanced early history for its perfect philosophy. That's why China, in the balance of power between the West of my Roman Empire as Gregory Pope 13. In any case, yeah, of course, I'm the devil, that guy who just gave you a calendar. If you ever had a job, you owe me that minimum and maximum I just said, which is, like I said, minimum 7 cents, maximum 6 cents. And think about what that means. Okay, it's not funny anymore now that I repeat, sleep. But just in case, for those who are daydreaming or just hypnotized, or maybe just looking at their husband's eyes or balls of another type, you know what I mean? If you have two balls types, that you're very lucky, because some people don't have two balls types. And you know, of course, you know who's the poorest soul alive in the history of mankind? That's Anne Frank. Not only because she was Jewish, persecuted like the devil alive, that the devil would wish to save him. You know, I take the blame for whoever has proof of God and damages with God the Almighty, because that's what happens when you have proofs of God, you damage yourselves with it. But I guess God had to leave a trail to show you He's there, and me too, to support Him. I take the blame if ever it is any damage that there are stones across a big lake or sea or ocean, whatever. It opens as the stones are still there, as the Jew could find it to have his life saved, because you don't remove DNA and cultures and family with no weaponry, dragged out of a store from which they fucking control the world. What else? Like, there's good rich people born, so, and you never know. Trump, another devil, misunderstood, and I guess he's pretending he misunderstands Obama as he wants to compete. I guess he has an excuse. If I take the lawyer to the guy who is the underdog, who gets to be the victim. I guess you are all victimized by me, of course. With me controlling all of your choices, I possess your souls where you don't know it. And you didn't exercise exorcism on all of you. The only thing that's illegal is exercising exorcism on me, Gregor Swiderski, the petty one, because you might get angry people that I can't control. After your life, you're doomed. And for the longest time, as time continues infinitely, making your life shrinking in percentage amounts, versus the two, how longer is longer. In any case, you should know there's 3 races in the universe, is 3 levels mainly for you to know. Is basically, one is the rat race, which has 3 conditions to pass into the person's race, where we might be super far or super close, depending how you click, share, subscribe, share, subscribe, tell your friends to share, and watch all of the things 1 second at a time. And that's making sure you go viral and test some algorithms that might be good for the flow of the public, as we do not demand from policymakers shit we do not understand, but we demand policies from policymakers, policy changes, not policies invented magically. Magically with what logic? We can crucify someone 6 times, which is obviously me, and make it obvious on a Hollywood video, and we can put it on Pornhub too. Congratulations, they both have the same amount of footage, but you know, the pornographic video of me getting crucified with all of the evidence of the judgment case, as I am proven guilty of so many things, I lose control sometimes over specifying one or another. I have so many on my mind, I lose myself with a human mind. Human minds are limited, like even almightiest minds are limited in nature. So don't accuse anyone for the flaws of the universe. It was always there. The universe's flaws. It's just a question of how we choose between which flaws and when, and how to approach flaws is difficult. For us humans, we should use words to prove our science and title. You have to use words. On top of it, you have to figure out marketing schemes all alone, and with a retirement budget of $1,100 a month. As if you guys don't complain with that kind of money. And that's been like last 3 years as I finished that banking, 5 years night to day, then 3 to couple of years of advice to advisors. If you see my support desk, Mr. Support Desk, call me from your shower. In any case, fine. So my boss once told me, basically, she's checking all the recorded calls of my advice, because the performance was about talking time, and I was the best in Canada of all her call centers. And she says she's checking all my calls to see where my corners are being cut, but they're not yet, and she's been checking for the longest time, apparently. I'm wondering, is she trying to make me paranoid, or make me bend to fear, or make me quit? I wonder. I was expecting to quit anyway, as my fortune was ballooning, of course, from my immigrant parents were like the broke black now, that might have a good legal job if I manage to remove and crucify racism. Oh yeah, by the way, we could accuse me and prove on camera in Hollywood that I am racist, because I said the word nigger, okay? And that's just a rhyme with trigger, figure, migger, trigonometry. We can happily do you the same favor after life. I to E, eyes, E, and yeah, tooth for teeth. Unless you're a tooth fairy or wood elf, not wood elves. One is violent with a V letter. One is F-worded, like unlawful carnal knowledge. And I guess I just used coarse language. Anyway, so what do you think if I do everything possible from a frugal point to show you how I'm good at leadership and I can mastering, where if I'm the master of the world, I give you permission to do what you want from the morning to night until I change my mind. And then we might wonder, why are we not aging if you believe I'm the devil alive as the one who's crazy enough to somehow say in 2012, 23rd of December of my unending calendar, I'm the devil and I don't know why. As a first statement to reply, when my friends used to ask me, why are you saying you're the devil alive? And I didn't say alive back then. I just said I'm the devil. I don't know why. Anyway, the devils, they go, you know how they talk to us? They go, eventually they realize we are heroes for God Almighty. We just take the blame for the flaws and consider it as an enemy incorrectly. So anyway, we just need to prove our point and lose me with gap brains, humanly done. I guess I need your water to flow, and that's making a metaphor to say I need your money, because that gets me to be more effective and actually can hire and let people get fired on their own. So I don't have to enforce dictatorship with telekinesis forces while I fly anywhere I please and then grab you like Darth Vader from the distance. But to give you the truth that the demon god told me, in order for me to do that with his telekinesis force, there must be a black hole around the whole solar system, basically ballooning and covering up this event with an illusion that doesn't get detected by the enemy UB or demon god. Anyway, so basically that, to have this magic trick, if I get the orders that I got this magic trick, basically I don't wish this, it's fucking ugly, because the guy who gets to be the battery of that energy force, he gets to be stuck there for a while until I have rotators to like rotate in between people while he gets a break, because once I trap you into that, you cannot not produce adrenaline for me to give me the force, because you know the most powerful compound of molecules basically in the universe is producing the most energy is adrenaline. But of course, that's when you're in fight or flight position, in your frightening nightmare. You want to get the fuck out, right? And that makes you energetic. Some people can lift a huge rock that is laying on them, somehow panicking about death. Fight or flight, boom. That's the powerful most energy for the universe, adrenaline. Adrenaline is used inside of the sun as a device for someone to show you he's there. Our Lord Captain on the bridge, our Father, just because he's mine, I give it to you. If he's mine, I'm doing anything I want to him. And he says, if you give me to others, I will let you keep me. Anyway, so I have the fortune to talk with God the same way you can. You just don't know how. You just imagine and talk to your camera, recording or not recording. You can talk to your mind quietly with words as you accumulate logics on top of logics. Look, if you're specialized and you have a family of at least 6 family members, you know, then we survive with you capable to smoke after work, whatever you want. And if your boss has no problem smoking during your job, you can smoke during your job where it's legal. But of course, you're allowed to cheat a bit, not like a demon who reasons he needs to cheat every time he can. That's thieving. Do you know that tooth fairies exist with a careful magic, and they actually give you invisible misfortune? Because that's the orders of karma. The queen, our captain on the bridge, has a wife. That's our life, our enslavement, I guess. Don't call her a bitch. Our wife life. I guess, you see, I could go boom, 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 boom. Oh, that was a bad joke. My dark sense of humor. Sorry, I'm the D guy, right? The D letter guy, the devil, if that's the title. Congratulations whoever enters history for his almighty life to improve afterlife. That's a good job. That's a good job. Unless you enter history, known history or not known, that doesn't matter. For ruining mankind, you're gonna get to be the next God Almighty. Whether you were born favored or not, whether you acquired favor during life or not, that doesn't matter. If you're the only one who ruins all of mankind's lives because you think you can make drugs safe or some shit, I don't know what the fuck you're trying, and then boom, 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 all on you. You're the dog who just nails the nothing. The dog who nails nothing is the specter called death, investigator for life and afterlife. Forget it, depends. And then, yeah, the verification of what to do, not to do about death. When you have that judgment and skill, you've been tortured through sharpening methods. You see, if he destroyed all of mankind, or just even one life, sometimes that's another smaller, but still another death helper respecter who just get a boring job after that about death and when is it going to strike you in the afterlife or restart you as an animal or a human, depending on the availability of what you produced. In any case, that's a difficult decision. So basically, the benevolence is like this. Why it's eye to eyes and tooth to teeth? Because the gods who decides in the gods race, the third part, your afterlife, basically, well, if you deserve torture, there's a benevolent reason why torture should happen extensively, for you to, under difficult condition, sharpen your mind while needing to find passwords that devils, of course, have to come up with. Giving you those hints sometimes confuses you, but those devils tries to tell you the password without telling you the password's exact words, and you must find the exact words, or the meaning impresses less. That's less sex with your Barbies. Mr. Perfection Chaser only for himself wants the devil's throne, and he doesn't even know himself, and of course that's the devil we don't. The devil we know is better. Let him keep his power throne. I want to be advisor for mankind, but I need to get paid to make sense. as Einstein was your advisor. If you listened, that's because he was also a bit favored. And you know, that kind of ruining of mankind where you create the nukes creation and all of the power plants we need for the future to save mankind. You know, I respect the fact that he hesitated before giving it to America, the 2 nukes, you know, that you needed to wipe away wildlife with, I guess, you know. In any case, that's their fault that they need to nuke with the nuke that was there since the dawn of all eternity, before it even caught up to now. It was since eternity that nuclear equations existed, of all kinds of E equals MC squared, confusion, all kinds of things. They wouldn't even listen if you didn't market yourself as a jack of all trades. Maybe for me, self-challenged. Yeah, I'm self-challenged. You can call me challenged one. Yeah, I'm challenged. What does that mean? I'm retarded, but of course my brain is trisomic. You don't see that. And I'm smarter than you already. You know what's a trisomic for? It's to grow back the missing brain cells during life in a visible way, where you have no way to detect brain cells growth, but there's a visible way to detect brain cells growth. I unlocked my synaptic gap, which was 6 years ago, exactly at 28. And then basically that created me brain cells that I recuperated from my trisomic state. And now I'm recuperated to some degrees, where there's difficult to say how to analyze me now that I grow your brain cells during my life very differently. That changes everything in a random, completely different manner. But I guess that's schizophrenia sharpness more walking. Hopefully you need Mr. Sharpness walking. That's me, your jack of all trades. If I could focus at one at a time, realistically many trades, to be saying the truth. But I heard someone saying jack of all trades as a term. Just to clarify, it's a term everyone uses. We don't have to clarify every time. I hope that it's many trades, or that it's okay, it's just a little bit. Okay, it's just humanly speaking, it's still maybe a lot, as I just try to accumulate them after I'm retired. Why not? As of 28, I retired. You know, with $1,100 a month for life, what you have is an investment of $1 million or almost. Back then, depending when, actually it fluctuates, both the amounts, the 1,100 and the million. For life, if you exchange that at an insurance broker, company, or bank. And you know, that's doable. And you're thinking, oh shit, 28, I'm gonna be a jack of all trades soon. That's a bit schizophrenic unless you're retired, or unless you have a job for life. Maybe you want to talk about your job with your wife. I don't know what effectiveness does that. Close. Sometimes poetry with some technical skills gets you more charisma, both. And you know, you tell your wife, hey babe, I will never expect you entertain me, but I'll do my best to entertain you. I hope you do the same. Never expect me to entertain you, but I'll best entertain you as much as I can. Then of course, if times go wrong or you disappear from connectivity in the same house, walking around 2 different rooms, well, why not staying for the children, or just for budgetary reasons, as these demons think that the COVID-19 is not destroying the economy on the longest run. But of course, that's me who comes in the nick of time. Who is your hero hardest? I am either under competitive of Jesus Christ or above. One day, I hope I am above, as I do the work of the ground of the, you know, what is looking like first life, or being your second. Obviously me is my second, because I died already, and I remember previous life through my death. Exactly, that was in 2010. I died of overdose as a stupidity, because I tried marijuana, and marijuana is the cause of overdose. If you marijuana after alcohol ingestion a lot, then you see how it feels. You puke for a good hour. If that's honorable to do, you did it with the intentions to torture yourself with drugs, right? And then that was good to do on a funeral, to torture yourself for the lost one, so he gets, or she gets, a better afterlife. Who knows what your wishes are? You could do all kinds of things, thinking relating to benevolence and benevolence first. Second is wisdom, or else if wisdom is first, that means you only have no wisdom for yourself. I mean, no benevolence for yourself, and that's coming up with some wisdom. What does benevolence mean? It means altruism. Google me that if you don't know what that means. Altruism is basically benevolence that is done to others from outside your brain. Because look, it opens and it happens like this. When people look at you, the automated, they think you're a robot when they notice you have egocentrism. Did you realize this? That you people do not communicate your flaws, ignorance fixing, just because of that? There's egocentrism with limited knowledge, and you all accuse each other of being stupid. It's all like across the board. And you hear one person saying it, suddenly the whole nation said it, of the same color, of course. But of course, one person of the other nation said something, or something happened to one person in the other nation versus the other nation, suddenly the whole nation did it. You both black and whites, children of life, do the same thing and don't defeat the logic that's always self-defeating. Once you have no racism on the map of the world, that's when you're ready to see aliens. Where do you think the highly advanced ones are hiding? Do you think that they are hiding because they are not benevolent, or because you say wisdom turns to evil as a third step? Rarely when you know what to do, when it's time to do bad, to do better, where you minimize bad to do maximizing of better for longer, for more people. That's by helping me, your jack of all trades, one per mankind. If I make you immortal because you believe that I'm the devil, that's your problem and mine. And since you're all related to me by this, I have to make sure that somehow there is no logic that is too feelable or felt. Feelable or felt, what do you prefer, my terminology or the traditional English? Feelable is not like bull, but it could be bullshit. And it is usually bullshit because I could make you feel crazy with just using words accidentally. I cause fear accidentally. I cause fucking people going crazy, as I'm the poetic one, the titled one, and you could just verify me on camera. You're lucky that I'm the scientific one, the one that can still succeed out of the 10 that already passed, and as you never registered their name nor even bothered what's their name, just in case I need to make sure I have some visuals over their title and name, which is the devil whenever they said they are one. That one, you do not do exorcism to him, unless you prefer to just do the method, unfortunately, of what I said. Use a weapon with preferably bullets that are using gunpowder than nuclear. Explosion of, chain reactions. You know how that works? I'll give you a technology for free, humans. If you use it, oh my god, the end of Mars is probably on my fault. I'll be sharpened for that. That's fine, I'll take the blame for that, no problem. But it's like this, if you chisel diamond perfectly, where you can make the barrel as wide as the diameter has to be like the Earth. Okay? The diameter has to be like the Earth's diameter, basically. And that chiseling is in the sun, in the side of the sun. And that's a technology that uses the nuclear chain bomb reaction to do gunpowder jobs. Jobs are in plural, gunpowder. The nuclear chain reaction is a one guy type of thing. One guy can shoot you a bullet spaceship made out of diamond, and the tunnel around the explosion is made out of diamond, of course. You have to chisel perfectly everything around impossible figures, and boom, you could start playing the game. Let's make the Martians get fucking scared by shooting machine gun shotgun volleys of as much as we can, big bullets that are about to disorbit their planet. And I guarantee you we will see movement of their planet that is very unusual, and they start building back their engines of everything to get fuel propulsion from. But of course I accuse Jupiter, I sue Jupiter, not the god of the, you know, Romans and the Greeks who created that guy are responsible though. They are though, Jupiter and the planet. I sue it for giving Martians a way to escape their job, which is to be invisible and silent, unless it's barely visible traces that could be deleted. And the retarded ones of the solar system are letting me know to prove you I'm the devil, I guess. Thank you guys. I guess that gives me another chance to prove that I located, especially after my synaptic gap click at the right time, the best time. I located where Martians are showing that they're alive and they're in the solar system hiding. You know, it's one, that is not even a sign. It's like a test. That's the third thing. Before I tell you the two signs or hints again. The third thing is this. At some point, they pretend that their spaceship is going to look like the clouds as usual. They always pretend, like the devil. Lies, they lie too. Anyway, they lie that their spaceship can be only one color. No, they lied to the lady that just captured the spaceship that was odd clouds types. And you thought that I didn't pass the test and spot that one. Why do you think a spaceship is exactly the color of clouds? That's highly advanced knowledge, or a brilliant genius titled genius photoshopper of a human type, if that's a human, who actually bothered to do a spaceship filmed with a camera picture, somehow not filmed but just a picture of it. Because if she could move at the speed of jet fuel engines, she could actually maybe look how closely it doesn't move and looks from underneath at the same color of clouds. That would be more evident, is maybe not in Hollywood made, but that could be suspected of Hollywood made, so they could even do that, I bet. It's fine. And especially if it's Anaconda Day, which is on Halloween as of now, where in the middle of New York. The one that's more defended city, or what do you think? Or maybe Silicon Valley, or actually the Texas has all of the military. So here's how it works for the United States. If California secedes, you all secede, the 51 states or 2 or 3 or how many you acquire. And then Canada purchases you with my currency and makes you protected by yourself. And we conquer with the Canadian military, the United States Texas military. Thank you, Texas, for your protection. And I conquer them with words. I stripped them from their brand of military, army, name, and title. Oh, that's a coincidence, I guess. That gets someone angry. I'm just joking, you know. But, you know, it goes like this, because if I wasn't joking, I would say, you get back your brand, your title and name with my name on it. That's it, with my name on it, you get back the same amounts. And everything, and mathematically, poetically, everything the same. In terms of lyricism, you know, you are this name, first and last name, whoever you are in the USA military of any level or type, or, you know, which battalion of which whatever. But never mind that number, figure. Of the USA Army, the United States of America Army, my Roman Western Empire I designed a bit, just with a calendar move. And basically, you know, we could gridlock this as it is perfect now that I'm entering a possibility of getting fame through the world that I need. But that needs a fortune for security reasons, I think. In any case, not a huge fortune. I'm a frugal guy and I know karate. No, but it's nothing special. I'm just doing visuals because, you know, because people usually do visuals judgment, as usual, judge the book by the cover, and they never check each video in the same order by clicking on the words of the playlist on YouTube. The channel has words that you can click on rather than the video, because if you don't check them in order from first to last, you might fuck up something in understanding everything properly. And basically, the words of the playlist, if you click on that, aligns the videos in order as you click on the first of each top to bottom, from the left to the right. Well, and basically, if you prefer that it's time to look at videos, offered videos, you just offered by YouTube, videos, offered videos, I mean, you just make sure you click on the video itself rather than the words of the playlist. Basically, that makes you just make sure that after the video there goes another video that is randomly provided by YouTube, so you don't get to watch things properly, maybe, or in the right order. And you know, you need to tell people you bookmark after you, let's say, take a break to sleep. You bookmark your last video, not to have to rewatch everything, or else it gets annoying. And if you are not catching up to me, the more I outgrow your brain after my synapse is closed, then the more I grow in evolution, they say, the more I am misunderstood by those who didn't catch up to me yet. And not everyone does. It depends how you want to be catching up. I prefer you catch up to evolution using knowledge. One key guideline for evolution in one word is called passwords. Passwords that are just best found through the best type of creativity that you think is the worst. It's called the creativity of the best pleasure, called when the torture ends. That's the best creativity for passwords to be found. As you know, if you get crucified, if you know how it feels, the catapulting effect of Roman-style crucifixion, catapulting effect of Roman-style crucifixion pain. That means, you know, when they actually use ropes to make sure that the hole is filled. The hole is filled when the crucifix is in the hole of the ground, and they use ropes to create a catapulting effect of the pain effect. As this is a sharp, painfully, highly intensive thing, you scream, and then boom, you have the best pleasure source and best creativity. The best pleasure source you call the worst, and he passed the test for us to have science, clients, compliance to what is afterlife, you think, with science methods. In any case, he said the best password of creativity, he said, God forgive them for their ignorance. That means his whole DNA and all the races of his whole DNA are equally valid for very good benevolence wisely. But everyone is wisest for themselves. That makes a huge flaw, which makes you unwise to each other, which is the equal level. Wisdom and unwise and wise, same thing. As you are unwise to wisen up everyone else around you exponentially. You think you wise is the best? That doesn't mean you should be unwise on purpose. It's only done when it's on accidental nature. So remember that, memorized. If someone is unwise accidentally, that means, you know, they are wisening up you, or your self-confidence increases. Plus, you want to proceed with making their reputation preceded, like the devil's, of course. I see. But watch out, careful, because someone unwise could be pretending they're stupid and just wondering how to rob you in a slippery slope till tomorrow. Rigmarole. Rigmarole, you understand what that Texas word is, Mr. Texas? Where you think you coming from? Where you think you coming from? I guess I'm gonna grab a New York coffee, boss, and I make sure that you're gonna get Italiano way to speak Chinese English, the reptilian ways. Possibly, if you relate to links, linking, linked, linking, links, linked, linking, links, thinking, as I'm trying to imitate the reptilians that I saw, let's say in my dreams, in case you get jealous, that's provided by some almighty gods, or in my previous life before I came on earth, or yesterday if I tell you a joking lie. That one is specifically a lie. I didn't see them yesterday, the reptilians. I saw them in another day prior to yesterday, before birth. I bet you that's not a lie. Saw them or heard them, let's say both. Imagination flashes, sometimes all kinds of goggled ones for hopeless cases to radiate you some more hope. Then stay on, Mr. Hopeless Case. I'm after you. I want to fix you with your hopeless cases. And I have a way to balance automation industries into making sure the transfer of wealth is as safe as possible with no perfection guaranteed. No imperfection guaranteed. right? No, that's bullshit. I'm meaning the exact opposite. Imperfection is guaranteed. No perfection is allowed to be guaranteed. That's never the case forever. If it's a bad day, tell yourself it's gonna be worse, and that's how you stay positive. What is God's message usually? Well, to me, it was stay positive, Mr. Hopeless Case, as you become the title of your adultship. To be an adult kiddo, you should get a title, specialization, trade, and family life for happiness. If you want to have those combined hours, you have a happy life, or else you're depressed, some loner on the street or whatever without a family. You got demon zills. That's not a good jills. The jills. I'm świdr. That means drill in Polish. Świdr means drill in Polish. Like drill. Świdr, drill. Did you notice DR and DR are the same? Dr. Phil and Oprah. You owe me also for something I haven't come up with yet. So we'll see. We'll see how much you can shine me money. There's a library lower. Most important things. There's a video with a clear bank account, password, and something you can click on or look at from close view, and you'll see that it's a first image that suggests a personality name for one of my rapper names that I come up with, because apparently I'm gonna need to. God told me to make sure that, you know, I need to give a rapper name, a new one that I come up with, in exchange of the rapper names of any famous rapper that has a famous name. That's my rapper names that I came up with. I possessed your soul as the devil. That's you. Nobody did exorcism to you, so you never know. And you didn't do exorcism before and after the possession of your soul, just in case someone manages to find the impossible to find coming back to the past machine. What a crazy fucking deal to come back to the past, doesn't you think? the now is is gonna just change like this, because, you know, in Back to the Future there's a funny joke. The funny joke is this: the guy dissipates as his mom falls in love with him. So he dissipates progressively as she doesn't know, and he has to reverse while he's and she doesn't realize he's a ghost. She doesn't see properly. She suddenly gets a blurry vision after looking into the sun way too long. Of course, that's forbidden. Why? Not because you might get blind unless it's July, crystal clear sky. In May, you might get crying rivers, to be honest with you, if you try for 15 seconds or 6, 7, maybe enough. Anyway, that any case, you know, I'm getting tired as I work berserk. I don't know what I have to lurk into to get elected as the Prime Minister of Canada as a fixed schizophrenic by a doctor or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, and most of the doctors are good doctors of psychiatry. Psychologists also participated, neurologists didn't, to check my brain if I'm okay. And basically most of the doctors did a good job, but most of the work was the doctor called me, one of the 6th, or do you think that was the 7th doctor? I did most of the job to fix schizophrenia of mine. Therefore, I'm the best to fix schizophrenia. Fixing schizophrenia means fixing everything. When you're everything, like a jack of all trades, before you're specialized at any trade, you might want to proceed with the natural way of, let's say, dropping jack of all trades and getting a specialization for 5 years or something first, before you retire or something. Because schizophrenia is basically doing jack of all trades. It's like not completing objectives, because Daddy should say, you know, if you stop at 99% of your achievement of your objective, it's as if you stopped at 0. It's nothing. Unless you were practicing. Then if you practice as jack of all trades, like 50% of each trade is enough. You don't have to work extra 40 years to remain a loser of time. You know, schizophrenia, walking, is sharpness. I guess the snake Satan #1, that was me. Yeah, that was me. Let's say in my imagination, or someone made me believe that. Some tooth fairies are powerful dream givers. You never know. I used to be the leprechaun who was found suddenly, created by the witch in the forest, where the forest was that one of the tooth fairies and the wood elves, my best friends back then. And I was born in a egg with a bunch of weeds in the egg, and I was born an adult. I was always an adult. I just learned words from some imaginative words that were talked to me in my mind, whispers or whatever. In any case, I started laughing on my own jokes and nobody was understanding, but they were always gentle with me and perplexed. Oh, that's a wood elf. So basically, the tooth fairies, they read a Magic the Wisdom book, or Wisdom the Magic. They get their mana or their magic capacities increased in power. As boys don't ejaculate, they get mana increases perhaps, or the opposite depending what you wish. And you know, they get most mana from teeth of children. When you lose your child tooth, it's just for the tooth fairies and another reason, let's say. Jak szczerbaty przegryskraty. Bon, je m'appelle Gregor. Gregor is Gregor. Gregor, c'est rugged, comme la rigueur. Et madame, ne dis pas que tu viens avec moi à toutes les guerres. Es-tu folle? Je préfère que tu restes à la maison avec les enfants. Au cas où tu te fais violer, les enfants vont en dessous du lit. Et je dois aller à la guerre contre Dieu Tout-Puissant, bien entendu, comme tout le monde pense. Ou je dois aller me défendre en cours de l'après-vie. You know, the hello from the other side girl? No, actually the writer, not her. She's not responsible for the lyrics. So you're lucky, lady. You know, Adele, she doesn't owe me anything. My lyricism, hello from the other side of the lenses of your eyes and from your the mics, hello from the other side of my mics sounds. As you visualize, Mr. Whoever made money on the lyricism, let's say you owe me 2% of your profits remaining, not the ones that you made in the beginning. And I'll let you figure that out and figure yourself out how much you're gonna get tortured after life if you don't do that. My bank account is of course on the whole channel's second list, very visibly. It's a blue image with 2 squares in it. That's exactly my checking account, institution number, and transit branch number. Basically, you call your customer service and you ask them how to do the Royal Bank of Canada's bank account from this institution number 003, then the bank account and the branch number, that you don't have to be repetitive on each video, right? In any case, that's how much money you owe me, people. And whoever has a job and needs a Western calendar, which excludes the Jews because they don't need one, they have their own calendar, and the Chinese, of course. And you know, whoever needs a Western calendar for work owes me $2 per year if you do 40 hours per work per week work week. And if basically that's too complicated for you, I'll torture you after life, as the devil should torture you benevolently. Like I said, it's like this: if you impress me before it's too late, before you see the visuals over the proof of what happens after life, I bet you, if you impress me by doing charity donations to anything with 1% of your paycheck, like to give to poverty, anything that you could find, children or foundations, you know how it goes, that gets me impressed, and I give you paradise. And I have command of the tooth fairy, and their mana is increased as I snap my fingers. It's progressively like rates grow, rather than anything that I snap my finger and teleportation doesn't happen anywhere. Especially like the markets open and close. Sometimes there's a teleported line where they don't close with the same prices. But of course, there's futures markets, there's over-the-counter markets, there's supermarkets, there's special markets, favorite markets, express markets. There is also the, you know, I like the blue chip markets. Let's say for your retirement chest nuts, for your eggs basket. I don't put eggs in the basket. I put nuts in the basket, which are, you know, the hard to go through, the carapace nuts. Those nuts is not my nuts. It's the nuts of a tree. That kind of nuts, just to make sure I clarify anything that might go confusing you. Here you get the nuts. That's your second balls. that you're luckily still having. Because you know those that rape any little girl before their puberty, you know, after life what they go woo after they go clock with scissors like this, and they go hello nice, you go screaming in your catapulting pain. It's just like a crucifixion, and your wounds are fixed right away after. The pain dissipates over a week, and basically they are so stupid they do this on earth. Oh, they do this to them too. But anyway, basically for children raping, I understand, not because some people are drug taking. That's the completely stupid to do ignorant stupid chopping of something. But if your daughter was raped before puberty, you do it. After puberty, you debate what else you could do, like chopping a finger. In any case, bitch boss, same thing. Bitch boss, same thing. It's inversed in my reptilian English language. And you know, after they do the throwing of your penis, after you raped your daughter or someone's daughter before puberty, like this, after life, the devils, they look at your penis and they go, look, you have a timer, basically, because your dick is decomposing. And I bet you, if I was you, I would have already found a science method, and I would have been prepared to start combining all these forest trees and all this beautiful grass and this oxygen and whatever minerals you could find to rebuild surgically your penis before it decomposes. But the timer is ticking. Are you ready with already the science method in your mind? Because I would have been, if I was into raping little girls with a smile, right? Or little boys with a smile, same thing. Same thing. If you're a pedophile, you're supposed to pass the test, masturbate for life with your eyes closed. That's it. And that's because you deserve it after your afterlife. Do you prefer be cursed afterlife more, or even more in afterlife? You could perform in afterlife differently than in afterlife. The last 10th life could be the worst life for you and the best life for me in the same building. It's called the gates that have the Zyklonium bells and Zyklonium bills. Oops, I didn't say Zyklonium twice. It's Zyklon bills. I say Zyklonium twice. Fuck. What is Zyklonium bells and Zyklon bills? That's the two words on the fucking gates. I don't care if you don't understand them. You understand there's two palms with a hand on the door. And you have to press either with both, either with your right or your left,